So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So as you got into these roadblocks, what finally helped you to be unstuck, to charge forward and pursue this dream? What was the catalyst?
Yeah, I think for one thing it was learning that it sounds weird. There's a verse. So I'm a Christian, and I'm also still a worship leader and all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of flows in. But there's one that says, don't consider it joy, like when you actually have these trials and whatever. And for so long, I hated that verse, and I was like, how that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How can you consider it joy, like when you're not getting your way, and there's roadblocks and all of this. And the fact is, like, it does teach you. And I think that is honestly the biggest catalyst of what kind of helped me change my mind on things of keep going. Um, you're gonna run into things, especially when it's something that you should be doing or you should probably be doing. Like if it means that much, then it's worth the struggle. And if it honestly doesn't mean that much, then the first little roadblock, you're just gonna be like, I'm out, I'm done. And and so for me, like it's honestly still kind of a litmus test of like how much does this mean to me? Because there are days that you wake up and I mean, you're a creative and you're in this industry and there's days you wake up and it's like it just feels like such a rat race. It feels like you're chasing the next trend, the next sound, whatever the case may be, the next opportunity. And there's just days you wake up and you're tired and you're just sort of like, I just want to exist. But I think at the end of the day, if you didn't have those days, then you wouldn't have the really good days. Like you wouldn't have those moments of like, look, like look where I got to come to and be grateful for those opportunities. And I think that's a huge thing is just learning to be grateful for the journey and to express that gratitude. Like when a door does open finally or whatever the case is.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I like that, that scripture because it makes me think of like someone who lifts weights, for example.
Yeah.
It's that struggle, that
Hmm.
challenge just makes them stronger.
Yeah.
So, that's what sounds like you encountered these obstacles and it caused you to examine like how important is this to me? And so you pushed back and you strengthened yourself by meeting
Yeah.
those
And
challenges.
I think also it gives you compassion for somebody else. It gives you an understanding. Like when you see somebody else struggling, it's like, oh, I've been in a similar place or been there before. And you're able to speak into that person. Like, hey, like if I can make it through, so can you. You know what I mean? Like, I just, I feel like there's so many ways of looking at things differently. And that was the biggest thing. I grew up in a very pessimistic house where, everything was sort of negative. And that was the thing I had to really teach myself to get out of was that negative thinking of, the world is against me and everything is always going to be bad. And it's like, yeah, if you always are looking for the bad,
You're gonna
you're
find it every single time.
yeah,
Yeah.
you will find it. It will find you.